Good morning and welcome to our town at Common Coffee. This morning we're going to be talking to Ernie Adler about, as we're waiting for Harry Reid to show up at Common Coffee, which is, he's supposed to be here any minute. But right now we're going to take a short break for a word from our sponsor.
What's the role of a healthcare system? Is it to make you better when you're sick? To mend you when you're injured? Are you ready to live healthier? Start today at herestoyourhealth.net, a free service of Carson Tahoe Regional Healthcare. And
welcome back, and we're talking with Ernie Adler, and
thank you.
Anyway, we were waiting for Harry Reid to get here, but you've been working a little bit. You know a little bit about the Harry Reid campaign and how they've been doing things.
Right. I've been familiar with the campaign. I think that one of the things they need to get out the word on is how much he's actually done for Carson City.
Mm-hmm.
You probably know, but most people don't know. In the last 12 months or last year, Harry Reid has brought $24 million worth of stimulus money to Carson City. A lot of it went to the airport renovation and remodeling and reconfiguration. He's brought in money for the V&T Railroad, which has brought in tourism into this town. And over the years, he's brought in many, many projects which we wouldn't have without him as our U.S. Senator.
And we're waiting to hear from him, and we'll find out. Maybe he'll be pumping that up a little bit more this morning, so we hear a little bit more about what's going on. I noticed there's another stimulus project out at the end of 5th and Edmonds, somewhere out there. There's another, looks like another stimulus project going in there. So,
another road repair and so forth. And given the current recession here in Carson City, I mean, all those dollars add up quite a bit. We need everything we can get to get us through this really rough spot in the road. You know, the city's looking at laying people off and so forth, and any additional funding we can get at this point is great for the city.
And I know that you've been working also with Rory Reid's campaign too, with some work with them, and tell us a little bit about how that's going.
I think Rory Reid's starting to catch on a little bit because what's happening is he's ending up as the alternative to the other people running for governor. Everyone else running for governor is pretty much singing the same tune, which is no new taxes and cutting state government back. Well, that's not going to help Carson City at this point with all the state employees and our reliance on state government. So anyway, that's going to be pretty important that people start looking at him as the alternative to that.
Well, he's taken a kind of unusual tack that he's actually releasing all these plans about specifically what he's trying to do. Whereas the other, a lot of candidates for most races pretty much stick with fairly light, generalizations.
Well, generally the word is in politics is you don't put out substantive plans, you don't put anything in print so that if somebody calls you on it later on, you can deny it. So it is interesting that he has specific plans, especially on such things as education, improving both the administration of schools and teacher training, and trying to improve performance of students in schools.
I mean, his education plan sounded very, very progressive, and also very, in terms of holding schools accountable for what they're doing, and in some ways it seems to kind of even incorporate some of the more conservative ideas.
Yeah, it decentralizes education quite a bit. It doesn't seek to have a top-down strategy, but rather a school-based strategy for improving education.
All right. Well, thanks for coming on.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you for tuning in to Common Coffee. Or tuning in to our town at Common Coffee. We'll see you next time.
Thank you.
At Carson Tahoe, each of our 1,100 professionals brings something special to this region.
My compassion.
My experience.
My skill. My knowledge.
My commitment.
My expertise.
My dedication.
But we all share one common goal.
Your health.
Carson Tahoe Regional Healthcare. Here's to your health.